Did you ever hear of the tragedy of Darth Silent the Hills? What could have been? What could have been? Kojima, Guillermo del Toro, Junji Ito influence, PT was amazing, and that trailer with Norman Reedus, that teaser, in-engine teaser, I might add, just looked brilliant, and it felt like Kojima was gonna really bring something uniquely Kojima to the seminal Silent Hill franchise, but then we all know about the falling out between Kojima and Konami, and since then we have seen nothing but a butchering of franchises on Konami's part. We all know what happened to Contra, the abomination that released last year, I believe it was. Castlevania hasn't been the same since the original creator left. Metal Gear, of course. We all know about Metal Gear Survive, just lots of tragedies surrounding a treasure trove of IPs. And with Silent Hill, you can see right here, it's all been pachinko ever since Kojima's departure, ever since the cancellation of Silent Hills. Here's a trailer from back in August 4th, 2015. I mean, this is just... oh my god. I mean... look at this shit.
Look how they massacred my boy.
And then back in October 8th, 2019, we got another Silent Hill pachinko announcement, but this time with 4K Ultra HD excitement, 49-inch portrait J-curve screen, and interactive betting deck. This is Konami. Now, this is where the company's at. Now, there are some recent rumblings that Konami is thinking past gambling contraptions and that they may in fact be working on Silent Hill video games. The following information comes from a Twitter user going by the name Aesthetic Gamer. This is a leaker who's gotten plenty of information correct in the past, especially regarding the Resident Evil franchise. So back in 2017, this individual leaked a Resident Evil 7 DLC that turned out to be correct. And then back in December 2018, this same leaker talked about how Resident Evil 3 Remake was already in development, and we all know that's true now. And then back in March 2019, the same leaker said that Resident Evil 3 Remake is coming sooner than expected. And indeed, we know now that the game is coming out a year after Resident Evil 2 Remake, essentially. Suffice to say that this individual has a very good track record, so when they report on something, there's usually some credence. It is rumor, so take it with a grain of salt like with any other rumor or leak, but the track record for this guy speaks for itself. So here's what Aesthetic Gamer had to say in regards to the future of Silent Hill. In other news, while I'm dropping this stuff, and I think I can talk about this, I'll mention there is a couple new Silent Hill games in the works. Konami, about 2 years ago, reached out to various developers to pitch ideas for 2 Silent Hill games, one a soft reboot of the franchise, the other an episodic Telltale Until Dawn style game to go alongside the reboot. I don't know anything more than that though, but I sure do hope Konami's given it the appropriate budget and found the right developer to make those games succeed. This is just a guess, but I'd say there is a high chance one or both of those titles may be revealed this year, but we'll see. I don't actually know their plans or anything about these games other than their existence though. I don't know much about the inner workings of Konami. Following the publishing of these tweets, website Rely on Horror posted the following article in which they not only quoted this individual, Aesthetic Gamer, but they themselves said that, quote, "We can also verify that while we can't discuss any details, we have also heard from our own independent source that a Silent Hill project is in development. These 2 sources are, in our opinion, the strongest evidence yet that Silent Hill may really be back from the dead." Even if these rumors are true, I think it's too early to say that Silent Hill is back from the dead. Konami may very well be taking a corpse and puppeteering it. Just because a franchise is back doesn't necessarily mean it's really back, you know, like Metal Gear Survive. Technically, Metal Gear was back with that game, but not really. It's all going to depend on how Konami handles these 2 Silent Hill games. So one of them is going to be a soft reboot, meaning it takes place within the continuity of the other Silent Hill games, I suppose, but at the same time, it's going to try to be its own thing. The term soft reboot probably means that Konami's not going to erase the stories of the previous Silent Hill games, but at the same time, they're pursuing something completely new that is somewhat far removed from those games, even if they all do ultimately take place in the same universe. And then the second game is going to be much more story-driven, much more linear, episodic, akin to a Telltale or Until Dawn style game. I suppose if it is a companion to the soft reboot, it should be fine, though that isn't really what Silent Hill is. It isn't a sort of adventure-style game. It is a horror experience, and the soft reboot is going to fill that void. Or that's the goal, at least. Who knows if Konami's going to get this right. It does say right here that Konami is reaching out to various developers to pitch ideas. So perhaps there's some hope there. If Konami manages to reach out to the right developer, then perhaps they can work some magic and actually do Silent Hill justice if Konami as a publisher doesn't end up getting in the way of the developers. But we'll see. I don't know how to feel about this ultimately. We have seen Konami butcher so many franchises already that any time they talk about resurrecting an IP, it just scares me, especially after what happened with Metal Gear Survive and the new Contra game. Part of me just wants those IPs to stay dead than for Konami to revive them in zombified form, if you know what I mean. Now, here's something interesting about these rumors. It does line up with a recent tweet by Masahiro Ito, who many of you will know as the art director of Silent Hill 2 and 3. On January 4th, he tweeted the following: "I'm working on a title as a core member. I hope the title won't be cancelled." Given how this aligns with the recent Silent Hill rumors, the speculation out there right now is that Masahiro Ito may be involved in these two new Silent Hill games and Konami's new Silent Hill endeavors. And if he's involved, maybe there is some hope, again, so long as Konami as a publisher doesn't get in the way with mandates, so long as they leave the developers alone, and so long as Konami manages to get the right developers who understand the Silent Hill franchise to tackle these new games. Keep in mind this is just speculation though. Masahiro Ito hasn't actually confirmed that he's working on a Silent Hill game. It is entirely possible that he's working on something else and that this timing is just pure coincidence. But the reason people are speculating that this could be Silent Hill is this last sentence right here: "I hope the title won't be cancelled." A lot of people are thinking this might be in reference to the fact that Silent Hills was cancelled. This could be an inside joke that's also hinting that he is indeed working on Silent Hill, and this is him saying, "I hope this new Silent Hill game that I'm working on won't get cancelled like the last one that Kojima was working on." So that's the vibe that this tweet is giving off. And then another bit of speculation, this one far less likely, is that maybe Kojima is involved in some way, given that he has been talking about after the release of Death Stranding how he wants to tackle horror games. He tweeted right here, "As to make the scariest horror game, I'll watch the scary movies in order to awaken my horror soul." Now, we don't know what Kojima is going to work on next, but assuming that he is thinking of going horror with his next venture, it's probably going to be his own brand new IP. I just don't foresee Kojima rekindling that relationship with Konami or those two getting involved with each other again after what happened. But interestingly enough, Eurogamer did report on their article regarding this rumor that there's two new Silent Hill games in development that, quote, "Anonymous sources I trust have anecdotally intimated to me that over the last year or two, the ice has thawed between them." So while that doesn't necessarily mean they talk things out, it does mean that things have cooled down between those two, whatever contention there was. So it's not entirely 100% impossible that Kojima might be entrusted with a new Silent Hill game, but I don't know, that seems highly improbable to me. And Kojima, he's expressed plenty of times that he wants to move towards the future, that he wants to pursue new projects, try new things rather than look to the past. So I get the sense that yeah, if Kojima were to make a horror game, it would just be his own brand new thing, removed from existing IPs and franchises. At the end of the day, my expectations for these two games will depend on who exactly is involved. Masahiro Ito possibly being involved is some hopeful speculation, and it'll all depend on which developer Konami chooses. If they choose to develop this game internally, I don't know if I'm going to have much hope. But the fact that they're reaching out to other developers could possibly mean that there could be some good that comes out of this, so long as it isn't goddamn pachinkos and the like. So if this is just going to be more cash grab, that's going to be really upsetting. If this is just them trying to cash in on the Silent Hill franchise rather than actually trying to do it justice with the right people, the right developers, the right budget, and the right mindset. I suppose only time will tell how these two games pan out. It has been apparently 2 years since Konami has reached out to whichever developers have been involved in these rumored projects. So it's been some time. The game's probably far along enough that we might, in fact, get a reveal sometime this year, as Aesthetic Gamer speculates. I obviously would love to see Silent Hill make a comeback. The best outcome would be if the Silent Hill games turn out to be incredible, if they turn out to capture the spirit of the series, but for now, until we get more information about who's involved, I'm gonna hope for the best, but expect the worst, given Konami's history. I'm gonna take a more pessimistic approach to my hype with this. But if Konami can somehow prove me wrong, if the developers behind these two games can prove me wrong, I would be delighted. This is one man's take on these latest Silent Hill rumors. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on these two Silent Hill games allegedly in the works, what your hopes and dreams are, what your expectations are, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Yong Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Yong out.